If you want to know how healthy someone will be in their 70s or 80s, don't check their cholesterol. Forget about their weight or how often they exercise. The real predictor is their stem cell activity. Most people think stem cells are an exotic, expensive treatment, something only available at high-tech clinics for thousands of dollars. But here's the remarkable truth I've discovered after nearly 15 years in emergency medicine and preventive care. Your body already has roughly 70 million stem cells waiting to be activated, and certain everyday foods can double that number in your bloodstream in as little as 30 days. I'm Dr. William Lee, and I've seen patients decline unnecessarily, not because of their genes or luck, but because their bodies weren't given the signals to repair themselves. We've been taught that aging equals inevitable decline, that chronic disease is a natural part of growing older. Science, however, tells a completely different story. In this video, I'll show you exactly how to trigger your body's natural stem cell production using foods you can find at any grocery store. We'll dive into the science behind stem cell regeneration, uncover the specific mechanisms that make it possible, and I'll share a practical, actionable protocol you can start today that begins working in just one day. But before we dive in, a quick favor. If you're watching and haven't subscribed yet, take 2 seconds to hit that button. It's free, and it helps this channel reach more people who want real, science-backed health insights. So, what are stem cells, and why are they so critical to healthy aging? Think of them as a construction crew living inside your body. When you're young, this crew is massive, active, and constantly patrolling for damage. If a blood vessel gets stiff, they rebuild it. If cartilage begins to wear down, they reinforce it. But as we age, the crew doesn't vanish. All 70 million stem cells remain inside you, but they fall into a dormant state. Imagine them sitting in the break room instead of out repairing the city. This is where the magic happens. Certain foods act like an alarm bell, calling your repair crew back to work. The research is striking. Studies across multiple universities have shown that when older adults with cardiovascular disease, people with stiff arteries and hardened blood vessels consume just 2 cups of high-percentage dark chocolate daily, 30 days, their circulating stem cell counts nearly double. This isn't wishful thinking. Scientists measured it directly using flow cytometry, a method that counts the actual stem cells in the bloodstream. But even more impressive, these activated stem cells didn't just drift around aimlessly. They homed in on damaged blood vessels, repairing arterial stiffness. Using a test called flow-mediated dilation, which measures how well your blood vessels expand and contract, researchers observed improvements in vascular function that were comparable to people decades younger. The mechanism behind this is elegant and entirely natural. It comes down to polyphenols, plant-based compounds that are specially concentrated in dark chocolate. Within this category, a subgroup called proanthocyanidins plays a crucial role. When you consume chocolate with 70% cacao or higher, your digestive system absorbs these molecules and sends a chemical signal to your bone marrow where stem cells reside. Think of it as sending a text message to your internal repair crew. Time to get to work. The stem cells respond, mobilizing from your bone marrow into circulation. Once in your bloodstream, they don't just wander aimlessly, they migrate precisely where repair is needed. If your knee joint is inflamed, they go there. If your heart has microdamage, they find it. This is true internal repair happening every day, even if we rarely notice it. Consider the fact that your body constantly undergoes microdamage. Every movement, every meal, even breathing creates tiny cellular stress points. This is normal. But without active stem cells, these small damages accumulate over time. Picture it like tiny leaks in a roof. 1 or 2 leaks are manageable, but hundreds over a decade lead to serious structural issues. The beauty of foods that activate stem cells is that they work through multiple pathways, giving your body several ways to heal itself simultaneously. The first pathway is direct stem cell mobilization. Proanthocyanidins in chocolate interact with receptors on stem cells in your bone marrow, triggering them to wake up and enter circulation, much like a fire alarm activating the fire department. The second pathway is inflammation modulation. Not all inflammation is bad. Acute inflammation, like the swelling after a minor scrape, is necessary for healing. Chronic inflammation, on the other hand, lingers and damages tissue. Polyphenols from dark chocolate, blueberries, and pomegranates act like a dimmer switch, keeping inflammation at a healthy level. They allow repair to occur while preventing destructive, chronic inflammation from taking over. Another key pathway involves angiogenesis, the formation of new blood vessels. Harvard Medical School researchers have shown that polyphenol-rich foods stimulate a protein called vascular endothelial growth factor, or VEGF, which signals the body to grow new capillaries. Capillaries are tiny blood vessels responsible for delivering oxygen and nutrients to every cell. As we age, the capillary network deteriorates, reducing oxygen supply to the brain, muscles, and organs. Amazingly, polyphenols can reverse this decline. Animal studies show that introducing concentrated berry extracts increases capillary density by up to 40% in aging subjects within weeks. Suddenly, tissues that were starving for oxygen receive a renewed supply, rejuvenating the entire system from the inside out. At first, I was skeptical. Emergency medicine teaches you to rely on measurable outcomes, not theory. But the research is overwhelming. For example, a University of California study with adults over 60 suffering from metabolic syndrome compared a placebo group to participants receiving a concentrated polyphenol supplement equivalent to 2 cups of berries daily. After 12 weeks, the polyphenol group showed marked improvements in insulin sensitivity, arterial flexibility, and even cellular aging markers measured through telomere length. This wasn't subjective. It was quantifiable biological change. The process is fascinating. When you eat berries, their anthocyanins are largely protected by fiber as they pass through your digestive system, eventually entering the bloodstream. Your gut bacteria feed on these compounds, producing short-chain fatty acids like butyrate, which fuel the cells lining your intestinal walls and act as powerful anti-inflammatory agents. This is why gut health is so closely tied to immune function. 70% of your immune system resides in the gut lining, interacting with bacterial communities to maintain balance, reduce inflammation, and keep stem cells active. The most common misconception is that you need to overhaul your diet completely. In reality, small, consistent additions yield enormous benefits. A National Institute on Aging study of 2,000 adults over 70 found that those consuming the highest levels of polyphenols, 2 servings of berries, 1 serving of dark chocolate, plus regular tea or coffee experienced 35% slower cognitive decline and maintained higher physical function compared to those with lower intake. You don't need perfection. You need strategy. Now that you understand the science behind stem cell activation, let's talk about what you can do in practical terms. You don't need expensive treatments, complicated gadgets, or hours in a gym. You need a few targeted foods that trigger multiple beneficial pathways at once. Think of it like giving your body the right tools and instructions so your internal repair crew can do its job efficiently and effectively. The first and most powerful of these foods is berries. Blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, blackberries, all of them are loaded with anthocyanins, the same polyphenols that signal stem cells to wake up and reduce chronic inflammation. The mix is important because each berry variety contains slightly different compounds. By eating a cup of mixed berries every day, you flood your system with these natural activators, supporting stem cell mobilization, gut health, and immune function simultaneously. If fresh berries are too expensive or hard to find, frozen ones work just as well. Often, frozen berries are even more potent because they're picked and frozen at peak ripeness, preserving the nutrients. You can eat them plain, mix them into a smoothie, or add them to yogurt or oatmeal, but consistency is key. Every day, 1 cup. Next is dark chocolate, ideally 70% cacao or higher. 2 small squares per day, about 30 grams, are enough to activate stem cells without adding unnecessary sugar or calories. Dark chocolate provides concentrated polyphenols, particularly proanthocyanidins, which trigger stem cells in the bone marrow to enter circulation. This chocolate doesn't just float harmlessly through your system, it's sending chemical signals to your body to repair itself. The timing can also make a difference. I recommend consuming your chocolate in the afternoon, giving your body hours to process and utilize the polyphenols before sleep when your natural repair systems are most active. For those who can handle it, higher percentages of cacao, even up to 100%, provide the maximum benefit. Yes, it's bitter, but the payoff for your body's regenerative capacity is significant. Tea is another simple yet powerful tool. Green, black, oolong, or white tea all contain high levels of polyphenols called catechins, which have been extensively studied for their effects on longevity and vascular health. Large studies in China, following nearly 500,000 adults over 7 years, found that daily tea drinkers had a 20% lower risk of heart disease and stroke and a 22% lower risk of fatal heart disease compared to non-drinkers. The benefits are dose dependent, meaning that more tea leads to more protective effects, up to about 3 cups per day. Avoid adding dairy milk, which binds polyphenols and reduces their absorption. If you need to lighten your tea, plant-based alternatives like almond or soy milk work perfectly. The same principle applies to coffee. Black coffee is packed with beneficial compounds, but cream or full-fat dairy reduces their bioavailability. Another often overlooked powerhouse is kiwi. Rich in vitamin C and fiber, kiwis support collagen production, reduce inflammation, and feed your gut bacteria. Eating 1 or 2 kiwis daily can shift the composition of your gut microbiome in as little as 24 hours, promoting beneficial bacterial strains. Unlike tropical fruits such as pineapple or mango, kiwi doesn't spike blood sugar dramatically, making it an ideal choice for sustained health benefits. Its tartness is refreshing, and its fiber content ensures your gut, and by extension, your immune system stays strong. Mushrooms are equally critical. Any variety white button, cremini, shiitake, oyster, or portobello offers powerful bioactive compounds, particularly beta-glucans. Beta-glucans stimulate the immune system, support the growth of new blood vessels, and even help activate stem cells. Mushrooms are also a rich source of ergothioneine, a rare antioxidant that accumulates in tissues under oxidative stress. Your body cannot produce this compound naturally, so mushrooms are your primary source. Cooking doesn't diminish its benefits. The soft texture from cooking may make mushrooms seem less nutritious, but the beta-glucans remain highly bioavailable. You can saute them with olive oil and garlic, add them to omelets or salads, blend them into soups. The versatility makes it easy to incorporate them multiple times per week. Aim for at least 4 servings weekly. Avocados are next on the list. Packed with fiber, potassium, and healthy monounsaturated fats, they provide a slow-burning fuel for your body while supporting cardiovascular health and reducing inflammation. 1 medium avocado contains roughly 10 grams of fiber, feeding gut bacteria and promoting healthy digestion. Eat 1 avocado per day or at least 5 per week. Spread it on toast, add it to salads, or enjoy it straight from the skin. The monounsaturated fats also help regulate cholesterol and improve heart function, making avocado an essential part of a stem cell activating routine. Pomegranates round out the core group of foods. Containing punicalagin, one of the most potent antioxidants known, pomegranates also support gut health and mitochondrial function. When gut bacteria metabolize punicalagin, they produce urolithin A, a compound linked in animal studies to improve cellular energy and increase lifespan. Fresh pomegranates are seasonal, and eating them can be tedious. So alternatives like unsweetened pomegranate juice or standardized pomegranate extracts are excellent options. Regular consumption supports stem cell activity, reduces oxidative stress, and enhances the body's natural repair mechanisms. Timing and consistency matter more than quantity. Your body's repair systems are most active at night, during sleep, so providing the necessary nutrients beforehand is ideal. Consuming your dark chocolate and final cup of tea in the mid-afternoon, around 3 or 4 p.m., allows your body to process these compounds before you rest. Heavy meals too close to bedtime can divert energy from cellular repair, so aim to finish dinner at least 3 hours before sleep. A small snack like nuts or fruit is fine if needed. Hydration is equally important. While you don't need to drink 10 glasses of water a day, you should never feel thirsty. Pale yellow urine is a good indicator of adequate hydration. Clear urine often signals overhydration, while dark urine suggests you need more fluids. Always avoid plastic bottles when possible. Microplastics are increasingly found in human tissue, including the brain. Stick to glass, stainless steel, or filtered tap water. Finally, consistency is critical. Many people try this routine for a few days, feel some energy improvement, and then stop. Stem cell activation and inflammation modulation are cumulative processes. It takes around 30 days of consistent intake to see measurable changes in stem cell counts and inflammation markers, and the benefits grow even more after 90 days. Patients who adhere to this protocol often report improved energy, clearer thinking, faster recovery after exercise, less joint discomfort, and even reversal of early-stage metabolic syndrome. Blood pressure may improve, medications can sometimes be reduced, and mobility that was thought to be permanently lost can return. Aging does not mean inevitable decline. Those who thrive in their 70S and 80S are not genetically special. They consistently give their bodies the signals to repair, regenerate, and stay healthy. By now, you can see that activating your body's natural repair systems doesn't require a miracle drug or expensive clinic visits. It comes down to consistently providing the right foods and signals. Let's break down exactly how each of these interventions works together to transform your health over time. Berries, dark chocolate, tea, kiwi, mushrooms, avocado, and pomegranate are not just healthy foods. They are signaling agents sending chemical messages to your bone marrow, gut, and vascular system. Each compound works on multiple levels, activating stem cells, reducing chronic inflammation, promoting new blood vessel growth, and supporting your immune system. The combined effect is far greater than any single action because your body is a network, not a collection of isolated parts. When one system improves, it supports all the others. Take blueberries and other berries, for example. Beyond their direct effect on stem cells, the fiber and anthocyanins feed your gut microbiome. A healthy gut microbiome produces short-chain fatty acids, like butyrate, that lower inflammation and support immune health. This connection is critical because nearly 70% of your immune system resides in your gut. When your gut bacteria are thriving, they send positive signals to your immune cells, ensuring inflammation is balanced and stem cells remain active. And this is in theory. Studies show that within just 24 hours of eating 2 kiwis a day, gut microbiome composition can shift toward more beneficial bacterial strains. That's a rapid effect demonstrating just how responsive your body can be when given the right nutrients. Dark chocolate, as mentioned, is a potent activator of stem cells through polyphenols and proanthocyanidins. These compounds signal dormant stem cells to mobilize from the bone marrow into circulation. The cells then seek out areas of damaged blood vessels, cartilage, or even minor injuries and begin repair. 2 squares of high cacao chocolate daily are enough to trigger this effect. For maximum benefit, aim for 70% cacao or higher. Higher percentages reduce sugar intake and increase polyphenol content, delivering more wake-up calls to your repair crew. Pairing this with afternoon tea, which contains its own set of polyphenols, creates a synergistic effect that keeps your stem cells active throughout the day. Mushrooms deserve special attention because of their unique compounds, particularly beta-glucans and ergothioneine. Beta-glucans stimulate the immune system, support angiogenesis, new blood vessel growth, and even help recruit stem cells. Ergothioneine, a rare antioxidant found almost exclusively in mushrooms, accumulates in tissues experiencing oxidative stress, protecting cells from damage. You cannot produce this compound naturally, so dietary intake is essential. Regular consumption at least 4 times per week ensures a steady supply to support repair and regeneration. Mushrooms are also versatile and easy to prepare. Sautéed in olive oil with garlic, added to salads, blended into soups, or cooked with eggs. Their fiber content also benefits gut bacteria, reinforcing immune and digestive health. Avocado provides monounsaturated fats and fiber that feed gut bacteria while supporting cardiovascular health. 1 medium avocado contains roughly 10 grams of fiber and high levels of potassium, helping regulate blood pressure and reduce inflammation. Regular consumption 1 avocado daily, or at least 5 per week, provides a steady supply of healthy fats that keeps cellular membranes flexible, aid nutrient absorption, and support stem cell function. Whether spread on toast, added to salads, or eaten directly, avocado's combination of fat and fiber makes it a key element in the stem cell activating diet. Pomegranates are another powerhouse due to punicolagen, a polyphenol metabolized by gut bacteria into urolithin A. This compound improves mitochondrial function, which is central to energy production and cellular health. Studies in animal models show that urolithin A extends lifespan and supports tissue regeneration. While human trials are ongoing, preliminary results are promising. Pomegranates can be consumed as seeds, juice, unsweetened, or standardized extracts to deliver these benefits. The key is consistent intake, especially during pomegranate season, or using reliable alternatives year-round. Timing and routine amplify these effects. Your body performs most of its repair work during sleep, so providing the nutrients beforehand is ideal. Aim to consume dark chocolate and your last cup of tea in the mid-afternoon to give polyphenols time to circulate and signal stem cells before bedtime. Heavy meals late at night can divert energy away from cellular repair, so finishing dinner 3 hours before sleep is recommended. If you need a small snack, fruit or nuts are ideal, but avoid heavy foods that could disrupt stem cell activity. Hydration is equally crucial. Not too much, not too little. Pale yellow urine is a good indicator of proper hydration. Avoid plastic bottles due to microplastics, which can accumulate in the body, including brain tissue. Use glass, stainless steel, or filtered tap water instead. Consistency is the final piece of the puzzle. Stem cell activation and anti-inflammatory effects are cumulative. Short bursts of healthy eating will help temporarily, but measurable changes take about 30 days, and even greater improvements appear after 90 days. Patients who stick with this protocol report better energy, clearer thinking, reduced joint discomfort, and faster recovery from exercise. They often experience improvements in conditions once thought permanent metabolic syndrome. High blood pressure, and reduced mobility can all improve with consistent adherence. Aging does not automatically mean decline. Those thriving in their 70s and 80s simply give their bodies the right signals day after day. The foods we've discussed are more than nutrition. They are tools to signal your internal repair systems. Every time you eat a cup of berries, 2 squares of dark chocolate, or a kiwi, you're not just fueling your body, you're activating it. You're sending messages to stem cells, reducing chronic inflammation, promoting angiogenesis, and feeding your gut bacteria. This multi-pathway approach ensures your body doesn't just survive, it regenerates. Over time, these small, consistent actions compound, creating a baseline of health that supports longevity and vitality. Let's put it all together with a simple daily protocol. Start with 1 cup of mixed berries each morning: blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, and blackberries. Add 2 squares of dark chocolate, ideally 70% cacao or higher, in the afternoon. Include 2 cups of tea, black, green, oolong, or white, without dairy. Eat 1 or 2 kiwis daily to feed your gut and support collagen production. Incorporate mushrooms at least 4 times per week for immune and vascular benefits. Include 1 avocado most days for fiber and healthy fats. Finally, add pomegranate when available, either fresh, juice, or extract. Start with 1 or 2 of these foods if that feels manageable, and gradually build up. Consistency matters more than perfection. This approach isn't a fad or quick fix. It's a strategy backed by science, showing that stem cell activity can be doubled in just 30 days, inflammation can be reduced, blood vessels can regain flexibility, and even early-stage cognitive decline can be slowed. Your health is not determined solely by genetics or age. It's shaped by what you choose to eat and how consistently you provide the signals your body needs to heal and regenerate. By following this simple, evidence-based protocol, you're not just eating for today, you're investing in decades of improved health and vitality. And this is where everything comes together, because once you understand that your body already has the machinery for repair, and that food is the signal that turns it on, your entire view of aging begins to change. You stop thinking in terms of decline and start thinking in terms of activation. The question is no longer, what disease will I get as I age? The real question becomes, am I consistently activating my repair systems? Remember, your body contains roughly 70 million stem cells. They don't disappear as you grow older. They become less active. They wait for instruction. And the instructions come largely from what you put on your plate every single day. When you eat a cup of mixed berries, you're not just eating fruit. You're delivering anthocyanins that signal your bone marrow to release stem cells into circulation. When you consume 2 squares of high cacao dark chocolate, you're triggering proanthocyanidins that wake up dormant repair cells and help restore blood vessel flexibility. When you drink tea without dairy, you're supplying catechins that support vascular health and longevity. When you eat kiwi, you're feeding your gut bacteria and strengthening your immune defenses. When you add mushrooms to your meals, you're introducing beta-glucans and ergothioneine that protect tissues under stress and promote regeneration. When you eat avocado, you're stabilizing inflammation with healthy fats and nourishing your microbiome with fiber. When you incorporate pomegranate, you're supporting mitochondrial health and cellular energy production. None of these actions are dramatic. None require extreme dieting. But together, they create a biological environment where repair becomes the default.